Hello everyone, today is day 2 out of 10 days challenge, which I'm going to talk to you about in those all 10 days about our ancestors and about also numerology and things that I do and the journey I went through. And of course I'm going to give you some tips and some things that you can work on yourself, and I really hope that this is going to be a very useful journey. The same is for me as well, because it's a challenge, something I haven't done before, and it's going to be really exciting and amazing. So today I've picked a very interesting topic following the one that we spoke about yesterday. So yesterday was I explained to you about family constellation. I explained to you my own journey and how I found my mission, and it was it was amazing journey, and it was very interesting and actually quite I consider myself as quite lucky to be able to find it in that early stage, and to recognize it, because most of us doesn't even recognize our mission, even though we know it, even though it's within ourselves, but we're always scared to make a new step, to do something different, to do something new, and to make the step in order to pursue what we love doing and what we want to do. So today's topic, we're going to talk about the seven generations in our lineage, in our ancestral line, which are each of one is responsible for different traits in our life. So first of all, I would really love you if you have a piece of paper and a pen. I wrote it in the description, which we're gonna need, and if you guys can grab a pen and paper or a notebook, and we can draw a circle. So in this circle, we're gonna divide it in 8. So we do a cross, and then we do an X, and then we have the 8 specters of our life. In the middle, we write me or I, or whatever you prefer. And then the first area, we're gonna try to write health, right? And then we have 1 to 10, and you need to put what number is your health today, or like in general, where is your health, like maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10, where is your health at this moment. So if you write just a number, and then we can carry on with the next field. So I was just saying that it will be amazing if you have a pen and paper where we can write, we can draw a circle, and we can divide it into 8. And the first section of our life will be our health. And we were writing, if you are going to put a number from 1 to 10, where exactly you are at the moment with your health, right? The second one is money and finances. So I don't know if you guys know, or if you can recognize that actually health and money are very similar energy, wealth, not only money, wealth. So let's say where at the moment you feel like you are within your finances, within your health. Are you working for survival? Do you have just enough money to pay your bills? Do you have a little bit more? Can you allow yourself to go on holidays? Maybe you do. Can you save money? Do you have savings and things like that? So if you think about these kind of things, you can write from 1 to 10 where exactly you are at the moment. And then we have partnerships and relationships. So in terms of our loved ones, our love partner, romances and things like that. So let's say you might be in a relationship, or you might be married, or you might be looking for a partner. Maybe you are in a relationship, but you would like to improve that relationship. So we write from 1 to 10, right? So depending on where you are, you can write from 1 to 10. Then we have our birth family. Okay, the next section is our birth family. So this is a very important part in our life, and if as you guys know, I always say that our parents are the most important people in our life, And what we need to do as grown-up, we need to make sure that the relationship between them and us is good. Because most of the time we grew up and then we have some negative emotions holding towards our parents, and we need to fix them, because they are the first people where we get all of the energy from all 7 generations back. It goes through them to us. If we have blocked the first line, how are you going to get access to the rest of the resource? You're not going to be able to get access to the rest of the resource. So, right, let's say maybe you don't spend much time with your bird family. Maybe you would like to spend more holidays with them. Maybe you would like to celebrate with them more. Maybe you want to call them more often, or something like this. So you write from 1 to 10 where exactly you are at the moment with your family, with your bird family. Then we go to your career-wise. So, do you know what's your mission on this planet? Do you know what you'll be meant to do? Do you know what you would like to do? And where exactly you are? Are you at a point where you don't know what you want to do in life? You hate your job? Or maybe you know what you want to do, you don't know how to achieve that? Or maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you already know what you want to do, you're making steps, you know, and you are one leg here and one leg there, and you want to make the leap into going to fully on about what you love doing. I know this is a hard concept for most of the people, because our hobbies, you know, as we consider hobbies and things that we love doing, it's really hard to actually make them as our business or job or something like this, because these two things are at the two very end of the spectrum, right? If we have the circle, they're opposite each other. So it's good to, you know, to kind of rephrase that, maybe not to call it hobby or something like this. Maybe you can say, this is what I love doing, this is what I enjoy doing, and that's how I can make money. Because, you know, when you do something, when you're on your path, when you're doing something for people, you know, when you love doing it, that's when the universe aligns it for yourself, you know. It does. You don't have to do many things in order to achieve what you're, you know, what you're doing. It's just going to happen really easy and with ease, and the right people will come, the right, you know, things that you're searching will come. You just need to trust. You need to let the control go. But when you are there and when you know what's your mission, if you guys don't know your mission, if you find it really hard to, you know, to realize and to make a step towards it, and you're very confused, you can book your session with numerology with me, where I'm gonna tell you exactly what is your mission. So what I need is only your date of birth, and you know, guys, it's a challenge. So within the next few days, which we're gonna be together, I'm gonna do a demo of this matrix of success, which is the numerology I do, and it helped me as well to you know, to realize that this is what I meant to be doing. And you know, and it gave me so much confidence and so much strength, and it gave me so much knowledge and clarity about myself, about how I function, and how to use all of my traits, all of my positive you know, parts of my personality in order for me to succeed, right? So this is very important, to get to know yourself really, really well. You know, things that nobody ever explained to you in a way. Maybe people, most of the time, they blame you for certain things, and you didn't even you know, you were torturing yourself as well. You were criticizing yourself too, and you need this deep understanding and deep knowledge about yourself and what you can do and how you can use all those traits. Instead of criticizing yourself, use them in a positive way, reframe them, rephrase them as well. So this is amazing tool, but you need to work. You need to work on it. You can't just be somebody tells you. You need to make the steps, you know. God will give you everything you need. It has given you everything you need. You just need to make the steps forward and the actions, of course. So with the career, see where you are from 1 to 10, write it down. And then your personal development, where you are in terms of your personal development. Maybe you've watched everything that you've seen, all the resources that are out there, which are free so far. this is great, amazing. Maybe you already know who can help you, and you already know, your intuition told you that you really like this person and you would like to book a session with them. Or maybe you know, you would like to buy a webinar from them or something like this. You know, maybe you already know who is going to help you and give you what you exactly need at this moment. And of course, you know, I also have my page, which is Juliette Atanasova. There is a, I put a tag above this video, so you can click on it and you can search for my meditations, which are very powerful, very good ones. You know, I've had amazing feedback from them, so you can guys check them out, and you can use all of the free resources which I have out there. Also, I have a YouTube channel, so you can you know, you can sign up for it, you can subscribe for it actually, and you can see what all the videos I'm posting there. So in terms of your self-development, of course, maybe you know, you prefer one-to-one work, because there's some people who prefer one-to-one work. There's people who like to do seminars and tasks and do them on their own and things like that. You know, it's always, you know, whatever you feel like, you just do it. If you want a session with me, of course, you're very, very welcome. If you want to get some of my webinars as well, I'm going to have a webinar this Friday, which is, sorry, Saturday is going to be the English version. So this Saturday we're going to do for relationships. So whether you are in a relationship, whether you want to attract somebody, whether, you know, whatever you, where you are, or maybe you want to improve your relationship that you have at the moment. So it covers every type of person in any sort of relationship. So we're going to work on this a lot. We're going to talk about relationships, the role of the female, the role of the male, and so on. So, and then we have friendships, right? So the next column is friendships. You know, because of the nature of this time, you know, that we've come to live in, you know, something very unexpected, this pandemic, it forces us to look towards our inner self. Maybe, you know, you've lost some of your friends. Maybe you know, lost in terms of maybe you're not friends with them anymore. I mean, they're still here, but maybe you're not friends with them because your vibration is, it's not matching anymore. Maybe you went further away, maybe they went further away, and you are not serving each other anymore in the best and highest way, and that's why you had to stop being friends with them. So that could be one option. So you can make some new friendships. So what can you do in terms of this? You can call somebody maybe that you saw that there's connection, that you've clicked on together, but you know, you are not in touch with them. So you can give them a call, you can chat with them and try to build a relationship, and you know, soon things will ease up, and then you can arrange to go out and things like that. Maybe you don't go out very often, maybe you should start going out and things like that. Then we have fun. How do you enjoy yourself? What I find recently working with clients is that they don't know what makes them happy, how they enjoy themselves, you know, what's enjoyable and what's funny for them. And I'm like, you know, what does make you happy? Maybe you love painting, maybe you love dancing, maybe you love going out for a walk, maybe you like hiking, maybe you like traveling. And you know, it's a great thing to start doing these kind of things, because what's more out there, you know, what else is there for life? It's the joy of life. That's why we're here, to enjoy ourselves, to enjoy our life, and you know, to stop being miserable. I read somewhere today that you know, when you go to a shaman, and when people are, you know, very desperate and very depressed, and they have no you know, desire to live and everything, and the shaman asked them a few questions. I don't remember all of them, but I will try to remember now. The shaman asked them, when did you stop dancing? When did you stop appreciating life? And when did you stop enjoying yourself and enjoying life? You know, when you stop listening to music and when you stop dancing. So if you have lost the joy in your life, and if you don't know what is enjoyable for you, sit down and think about that a little bit, and try different things. Maybe you would like to do painting. So for example, for me, I haven't done painting in a while, so I did this beautiful picture above me. I don't know if you can guys see it. Yep, there it is. It's very beautiful. I love it. I just love the colors and the flowers. It's so vibrant and beautiful. So you know, maybe that's what you like doing at the moment. Maybe this is really good for your inner child, you know. What's it called? Yeah, art therapy is called. I wanted to say painting therapy, but that's not the correct thing. It's art therapy. So going to the 7 generations, I'm going to begin with the first generation. The first generation is you and me. We're the first generation because we began from us. So right, this is how our soul is being manifesting in itself. So what does it mean? That here is very important to know your purpose, to know who you are, to know your positive traits, to know your negative traits, to be able to manage all of this, you know, because as we know, as Eastern spirituality is teaching us, everything depends on us, you know. Whatever you do, this is because of you, and you know, this is happening because of you, and da. But what I have learned and what I'm going to tell you is that actually 20% is your free will, free power, where you know, and it depends on you. 20% of your life depends on you. You know, you make your decisions, you have your free power, you have your free will, and then that's from where you can say to yourself, I had enough, I don't want to live like that anymore, I need to change. Okay, and that's your free will. Makes you book a session, makes you get this seminar, makes you read this book, you know, makes you search for an answer, right? But 80% is from our ancestors, from our birth family, our lineage. So if you think that you're just a separate person and you have nothing to do with your family, you're totally wrong. I'm sorry. And going more into details, your right side is your dad, and your left side of your body, physically I'm talking, your right side is your dad and your left side is your mom. So you're having problems with your right side. Let's say your right foot hurts, or your left foot hurts, or your left hand or something. You have something to resolve with your mom or with your mom's side, right? And you might not even know. And as I spoke yesterday in the video, repetitive patterns are the biggest you know, sign that there is something that is going in a circle, repeating itself, you know, like the disc that is stuck and it cannot play the music. That's how repetitive patterns in our life are. By repetitive patterns, I mean situations which we don't really like. They keep on repeating, no matter if we do different things or not, they still repeat themselves one way or another. Maybe we can run away in a different country and we'll say, I'm gonna start from beginning, I leave everything behind, I'm a different person, and then you go and you end up with exactly the same situation, exactly the same thing. This is because you haven't resolved something in the family line. So as we said, 20% we have our free will, then 80% we pay our karma of our family. And it's very important to find our purpose. And as I said, for your purpose, you can book your session for numerology and we'll find out exactly what you'll be meant to do. So we have the numbers from 1 to 22, and each one of them, you know, for example, 1 is a creator, somebody who always likes to create something unique and different only for themselves, you know. So then we have the second generations is our parents. So these are our beliefs, you know, the beliefs that we form about life and about ourselves, our behavior, and the relationship and the attitude towards each other. If you're a man, you are more likely to be like your dad. If you're a woman, you're more likely to be like your mom. So, and very often I have people who, you know, they say, you know, I never wanted to be like my mom, and then they wake up, I wake up one morning and I'm exactly like her. I repeat the same phrases, I behave like her, I'm angry for the same things, I shout at my partner the same as she did, I use the same phrases, I cannot even control this, what the hell is happening, you know? So this, it means that you need to resolve something there, and you need to accept your mother as she is, because she is the best mother for you, right? The second generation, so our belief systems, our behavior, you know, how we treat each other as a man and a woman, and our childhood traumas. So our childhood traumas, I don't know guys if that book is translated in English actually, because I was trying to find it for some of my clients, but I couldn't. You know, there is I think I must have even a video about these 5 traumas. So we each one of us has a trauma, right? Everybody has a trauma. There's no person who doesn't. And I'll tell you something. What our mind suppresses, our body expresses, right? So whatever our mind suppress, our body express. So certain traumas that you could not resolve in your mind, your body will show. For example, the traumas, I'm gonna open a bracket just to tell you a little bit more about this. The traumas occur since you've been conceived until you're 7 years old. And later on you have, you know, teenage traumas and adulthood traumas, but these are different. Mainly the first traumas, they occur in our life when we are children. We repeat them afterwards because our unconscious mind is like that. I had a trauma. I couldn't control myself in this moment. I couldn't control the situation whatsoever. So because I want to prove myself that I reacted correctly in order to protect myself, I'm going to repeat it again to prove myself that I was right. End of story. So, for example, people who are very slim, very thin, and they have their hands, they're even longer than their upper body, and their legs are also very thin. This is a trauma of being rejected, right? So, of being rejected. And these people, you know, you can even notice their behavior when they go somewhere. They sit very, you know, they try not to make to take too much space. That's why they're so thin, you know, because they want to always, you know, they could also have this mask of the runner, you know, they always run out, you know, the one foot is always out of the door. So you know, they will sit you know, in the corner down there. They'll have all of their stuff in their lap or somewhere at the back, like let's say their back is always in their lap or just at their back. They try not to take too much space, and you know, and even if you tell them, yeah, leave your stuff, you know, on the side, and they're like, no, I'm fine, and they keep them with themselves, you know, because they want to take everything and run. Yeah, because they're afraid that they're going to be rejected. So that's why they don't put themselves fully into where they are. For example, another example I'm going to give you, people who are suffering from masochism, right? Masochism, it's this is the mask, and normally they've been you know, somebody made fun of them. So it could be, normally it comes from the father. Even we have certain traumas who comes from the father or from the mother, but this particularly is from the father. So their father made fun of them, and they made them feel, you know, ashamed of themselves, whether it's their body, whether if they were a boy or a girl or something like this. And these people, they have their shoulders, they are wider, you know, so they can carry more weight on their shoulders, like emotional weight I'm talking. Also, they have very thin legs, you know, you can see their ankles are very, very thin, like even, you know, extremely thin. And they have a little bit of belly, and they have a very straight shape on their upper body. So they're like this, a little bit like triangle. Yeah, very often they complain from their health, as they feel very blown, you know, like bloated, or, you know, even if they don't eat too much. Even, you know, sometimes the health problems with certain traumas, they're the same, because it's psychosomatic. Everything is psychosomatic, you know. First it comes as a you know, first it comes as a feeling that we didn't resolve. Actually, it could be a situation we are not resolving, then it comes as a feeling, and then it becomes a physical symptom. So and so on. There are 5 of those traumas, but I need to find a video in English and send it somewhere here so you guys know what I'm talking about. Then we have the third generations, which are granddad and grandma. And then we have our willpower, so the ability to set goals and to achieve those goals, right? So we have the third generation, which are grandma and granddad, And here is our willpower. So are you able to set your goals? Are you able to achieve them? Do you always finish your things that you've begun actually? So how are you in this topic, right? So then we have our fourth generations, which is grandma and grandma and how do you say grandma and granddad. So okay, so we have our mother, then your grandparents, your grandma, and your granddad. Yeah, I think that's how it's in English. So then we have our intellectual, our intuition, our talents, the ability to feel, life. They are angels. They could be our guardian angels, yes, and we can ask them for support and help anytime we need. And so when we need that, we turn our head towards the fourth generation and we can pray to them and say, grandparents, please help me in this and that, and support me in what I need, and maybe give me something I'm looking for at the moment. So also, if you haven't found your talents, if you don't know them, maybe it's always good to research of the story of our family lineage. It's always good to make a family tree. It's always good to ask our parents, tell me something I don't know about my family, some interesting story. And of course we take over the blessings, not only the blessings and the traumas that couldn't be resolved, because we're in a service of our family system. Then we have the fifth generation, grandparents, and then we have our charismatic personality, our leadership, the ability to again is to lead people, the communication, and our talents and abilities to do different things. It's a bit similar to the other generation as well, but the charisma, it comes from the fifth generation. And then the sixth generation is grandparents, which there it comes health, what's it called? So for example, if we take something from, what was the word? Okay, anyway, so it's the ability to make a family, to have a house somewhere, to create a family, to continue the whole family line, our relationships, our partnerships, our physical and psychological health, also our tips and our confidence. So it comes from the sixth generation. So here it's very important, if we clear the second generation, which is our parents, then we're able to access the rest of the generations, and slowly we can clear, and we can go up to the sixth generation and see what's going on there. So for example, if you cannot attract a partner, if you're having problems with your partner, maybe something happened in the sixth generation, and it's good to look at it. It's very individual for each person. You can have a look at my other video from yesterday and see how I explain their examples and things like that. But yeah, it's good to look at it and always observe for repetitive patterns. As I said, repetitive patterns are the biggest sign that we have something to work on, and that's personally ours. It's not our partner's. It's not he's the worst person, he's this and that. No. Why did you attract certain partner, and what is there for you to learn and to clear? So also I'm gonna have the webinar on Saturday, which is going to be about partnerships. We're gonna clear ex relationships, we're gonna write our list for ideal partner, we're gonna work on the current relationship maybe you are at, we're gonna talk about partnership, how you are as a woman, how is your man as a man, and so on. So if you want to buy a ticket, you can send me a PM, and we can work together on Saturday in a closed Facebook group, and the video will stay there, so if you want to watch it later on, you can. And then we have the 7 generations, which is grandparents, and then we have, these are the people who are responsible for carrying on the lineage, and also they look after, they're the guardians of our whole family line, right? So you know, the first time when I got access to the 7 generations and I could feel the energy and I could feel the connection with them, my whole back started getting really warm. It was really interesting, you know. So I would highly recommend, if you go on my Facebook page and check the meditations which I do, they're very powerful. I had amazing feedback. And that's you can see, you know, you might get a bit upset, you might cry a little bit and things like that, but this is because that's a lot of pain there, a lot of things that, you know, not a lot, but you know, there must be something that you need to look at and you haven't looked at so far. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to ask me something about it, you're very welcome. I'm gonna respond even after I go off the video. I'm gonna see them, and if you want to book a session with me to work on you and on your family lineage, you're very welcome as well. You can drop me a PM if you want to sign up for the webinar. Of course, you can also do it, drop me a PM, and you can buy your tickets. So that was from me from today. I'm gonna see you tomorrow on day 3. I hope that was very interesting for you and you've learned something. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.